This week on Stubborn Grit.
Just to give you some insight into how we actually feel about this process at this point. It was raining. We were soaked to the bone. I don't think those are raindrops. I think those are tears.
His wife and he are building a house together. Sweat equity. It's like a marriage workshop. Build the dream. How hard can it be? How long will it take? They don't have a clue. They're doing it themselves. Ignorance is bliss. Will they survive? Will their teenagers thrive? What's wrong with you people? Are they crazy? Maybe. Dream big. Don't quit. Stubborn grit.
More and more leaves are greeting us each day as the seasons change. Hopefully most of them are finished falling before we place the concrete, although leaf prints could be pretty cool. The goats are happy to be set free for the day. And I forgot the leaf blower. So many trips back and forth. Most of the leaves are now blown off the vapor barrier, but the trees are all in for fall. Today, my wife and I are taping up the seams with a recommended tape. The temperature still gets warm this time of year, but definitely not as hot as in the summer. Our 15 mil vapor barrier lays down easily over the slab area. We just need to towel it off before taping. We're also using our shop vac with a long extension hose to suck out the leaves and any water that remains in the footings. Wherever the utilities stub out, we're adding a square patch of plastic vapor barrier with a center cut hole and sliding it over the top to tape it all down. Our curious goats often stop by to visit on their loop around the fields, but thankfully they're not yet interested in walking on the yellow plastic. Our tape seams on the flats appear to be holding well. Some of the edge seams are a bit rough though. This red tape is where we want it to be sealed up tight, but anything above ground we're just using the cheaper duct tape since a lot of that will be cut away. 2 strips of vapor barrier overlap most of the interior footings. We'll need to cut them out somehow to lay flat. Likely need to bring in a much larger square patch for these as well. Most of our seams have already been taped. Need to finish cutting out and patching the interior footings, as well as the perimeter footing corners, which are a hot mess. We purchased this John Deere Gator from a friend back in the day. It was from a salty coastal area and was very rusty. So we were quick to strip it down and repaint most of it. Since then we've beat it up a lot, but it's a workhorse, and we're so thankful to have it. Never realized just how helpful and fun these can be. After slicing up the plastic inside the interior footings, we're now adding our square patches on top. The plastic has to be clean for the tape to stick and seal well. Just spraying water to wipe it off. Again, this thicker plastic is difficult to lay flat. Hopefully the weight of the concrete will help flatten it out. In addition to the tape recommended by the vapor barrier manufacturer that we had to ship in, we're using some of this locally available tape on the less important seams. So many long hours trying to get everything finished before concrete, it's definitely starting to take its toll. And we still have rebar and kickers to do. Get up, get back to it. A lot more to clean up and seal around all the plumbing pipes. We've been sliding our patches over the top of each pipe or group of pipes and then taping the edges. I was thinking laying down the vapor barrier was going to be pretty easy. Maybe finish the whole thing in a day. The wide open areas are no problem, but working down in the footings has been a challenge with this thicker plastic. A couple days later, our rebar, chairs, and anchor bolts have arrived. Before signing off on anything, always double check everything. Someone had grabbed the wrong anchor bolts off the warehouse shelf. It happens. Not a big deal, someone just has to redeliver later that day. And here are the correct anchor bolts, hot dipped and galvanized. It's becoming like a leaf apocalypse or something. Thankfully, most everything is taped up. We only have the front 3 interior footings to patch up, and still need to try and flatten the plastic out. It's supposed to start raining again soon, so we're not going to open these up until it stops. We're using buckets of sand to help hold down the plastic. The rain fills up the interior footings and starts to pull the seams apart. Some spots are very difficult to tape down. A thinner vapor barrier would likely conform a lot easier to what's below. In our case, the tape sometimes pops loose where it doesn't lay flat, so we're trying to reinforce with an assortment of tapes. We will need to come back and seal around all the utilities as well as keep cleaning out the leaves. Our small, inexperienced crew obviously takes longer, so it's costing us more time, especially with cleanup. This time of year is so beautiful and we're looking forward to cooler weather, but we gotta get the concrete placed and cured up enough before it starts freezing. There's some of our leftover road fabric. All our crawling around on the vapor barrier to tape all these seams is wearing us out, especially now that we're working around the clock to try and get everything done. So everyone in the family is doing their part. Back and forth, back and forth. It's starting to feel like that movie Groundhog Day. And our kids are in school, so we don't have as much help as in the summer months. And our animals need to be cared for as well. And it's all starting to get a bit real. We love our free-ranging chickens. A lot of eggs, and they help keep the ticks under control. They do tend to follow us everywhere, mostly because we feed them a lot of table scraps. As a result, they tend to scare away some of our delivery drivers. Being swarmed by a flock of chickens is entertaining to most, but not so much to a few. Sure enough, one of our great neighbors is trying to drop off some cookies today and is quickly swarmed by our chicken security. Thankfully, my wife comes to the rescue. Now, my wife was a suburbanite growing up, but she's become an honorary farm girl over the years. And now, back to the build site.